Hey everyone, thank you so much for your patience as it took me a little while to get this first lecture recorded. Um, like I mentioned at the very beginning, I hope to always redo my lectures and upload them to YouTube, um, especially as we get into our reading units. I think it'll be very important to have a chance to go back over and break down what we've read in class or what you're supposed to read on your own. Um, you know, I understand that it's not always the best environment in class to listen to me talk for a long time, and sometimes you need to come back. I've had this happen too, where I've been listening to a teacher speak, or even just anybody tell me something, and later I'm thinking, did I hear that right? And I wish I could go back and listen to it again. So that's why I want to provide you with tools that I wish I had, and I still, wish I could have in some aspects. Because I think they'll be useful for you. I hope they're useful for you. And if they're not, that's fine too. But anyway, so this first thing I wanted to do was go back over our introduction to rhetoric in case you missed it, in case it was like difficult for you to pay attention to. I'm just going to do this one briefly because I know we have a quiz tomorrow, so you're probably mostly worried about the vocab. So I'll probably skip ahead for this one, but usually I'll try and do all the content, cover all the content. So yeah, just very quickly, we went over these quotations. Again, like I said, Plato and Aristotle are probably the most important people you need to remember. They're not going to be on the quiz, but they're very important in the aspect of you will probably hear their names a lot in a lot of different ways because they are the founders of Western philosophy. And sorry about my dog walking around. Her claws are clacking on the floor. But anyway, Plato and Aristotle are very important. So rhetoric is communication, and a lot of it is communication and persuasion and making an argument or trying to move an audience to follow your argument or persuasion. So remember, it is what is being said and how it is being said. So again, we see rhetoric everywhere. It's communication. So like I said, I've uploaded these slides to Google Drive, so you can go back through them yourself if you just want to read. I'm just going to go through the important pieces for today since it's almost the next day. It's almost school, it's evening. I don't want you up too late, and I want to help you prepare for the quiz. All right, so we went over propaganda and the triangle. Just remember that triangle as we look at speeches next. We're going to go on to speeches ourselves. Okay, so the appeals. So this is where you're probably most interested in watching. Just remember, pathos is emotion, ethos is one's character, like their credibility, and logos is logic. So logos, logic, the pathos and ethos are kind of mixed up because E in emotion sounds like it would be ethos, but it's actually pathos. One of the ways I remember this is pathos is a path to your heart. And then someone in class said ethos is C, so E-C. I don't know if that helps, but pathos is the path to your heart, and then ethos is the other one, is kind of how I remember it. And logos is logic. So I hope that's helpful for you. So pathos is the appeal to any of your hopes, dreams, fears, or worries, a play on your ideas and beliefs. If someone is trying to appeal to your beliefs, they are using pathos. And these people or these speakers, not always people, but these speakers will always use, imagery or sensory language. Like the ASPCA commercial, the dogs are suffering. Suffering is a sensory word. You can imagine it. Anecdotes. So anecdotes, this is a type of story. It's just a short story or a tale. I use the example in class about this is little Jimmy. Jimmy fell into a pothole and broke his leg. We need to fill a pothole so other little kids don't suffer like little Jimmy. So it's using a little story to persuade your audience to have an emotion. Euphemisms are figurative language use to kind of soften harsh words. So what I mean by that is we use words like, I was let go at work instead of I was fired, or we're going to have to let you go instead of you're fired. It's kind of like making something a little more sensitive in a way so that it's not so harsh or mean or vulgar. So yeah, euphemisms. We had to put our dog down instead of we had to euthanize or kill our dog. So put down is the euphemism. Figurative language, like metaphors, similes, things like that. And then informal language, like I said, sometimes the speaker will use slang or a dialect of the specific audience to seek closeness. So teachers will sometimes try to use, your slangs or young people slang, as we call it, to appeal to you, to seem more likable or relatable. Logos is logic, usually statistics, facts, personal testimonies. With the Gettysburg Address, we saw historical facts as logos, and current events. So just remember, logos is logic and facts. Ethos is how the speaker comes across to the audience. Are they trustworthy? Are they credible? Do they have the authority to speak on that topic? When you're writing your own research papers, you will have to provide your own credibility to share your argument by showing and proving that you did research on the topic. So showing research, showing knowledge is a way to show credibility. So again, Shaq and Selena Gomez are ethos using celebrities. And then, the ASPCA commercial, remember, had all three appeals in it. With ethos, they had the whole ASPCA itself is a well-known organization. Sarah McLachlan, the singer, she's a famous singer. She's a celebrity supporting it. PATHOS, it's all the sad puppies, the sad song, sad music, the tone. Tone will always be pathos. The lack of pathos. Right now, me speaking in a tone that's just informative kind of removes the emotion from this experience, I think. I'm just kind of sharing neutral information, so I don't need to have emotion in it. So I'm removing pathos with my tone. And then logos, at the beginning of the commercial, it said every hour an animal is abused. And, even saying like your money will contribute to feeding, just 15 cents a day will feed this dog a meal, or donate $20 and you can give them help and we'll send you a tote. That's kind of a logos appeal, talking about where your money is going, like facts. If you remember, the Coke commercial did not have ethos or logos, it just had pathos. All right, so just remember, you can find these in a lot of things. And we skipped over this slide, so don't worry about this. And then we looked at all the king's men. And this is where we went off from the appeals to the fallacies. So I will see you in the next video talking about fallacies. And how do I stop recording?